I need y'all to pray for me. Like for real. My mind ain't in a good place. I'm in full depression. I'm gonna try to explain to y'all what's going on. It's just one of them times where I know I done told y'all I be going through this shit and it hit you so fast. But this one of them times where all that child abuse and the shit with my mama is all flooding in on me. And it's because of the damn preacher. One of my biggest problems in life has always been feeling like when I was going through that bullshit with my step pops, like my mama just wasn't there for me. Like she dropped the ball, and I know I made excuses for her, and I was like, look, she was young, you know what I'm saying? She was a single mother, and she didn't have no father for the kids she already had. She was pregnant by this nigga. Okay, well, that ain't the case no more. So can't use them same excuses no more. I've often said that I feel like it was just me. Like something was wrong with me. Because I know for a fact that if dude would have been touching on my sister instead of beating on me, my mama would have did something different. And it's sad to say that I found out that that's not the case. My baby sister, I told y'all, was approached by the same preacher that blew his brains out after his wife turned him in to the police for being inappropriate with these little girls. When I told y'all the story the other day, some type of way, I told the story wrong. Not about him and me or him and these girls he been messing with, but about him and my sister. Because it was given to me wrong as, I guess, a cover up. Or maybe I just misunderstood. But come to find out, this man tried this shit with my sister before I ever met him. Meaning, and I told y'all that when I went to that barbershop, my mama was with me. She knew full well what this man had tried to do to my sister when she took me to his barbershop. And we just had to talk about it. I told him, Mom, you know, ain't no way in hell you could have walked me into this barbershop and I not been on that man ass. Fuck cutting her for him. I would have went to jail that day. That day, I would have went back to prison. With you knowing that, what in the fuck made you think it was okay to, first of all, not tell me, second of all, to walk me into that main barbershop blind and have me working for him? Then to see how he tried to play me. I still almost ended up going back to prison behind the man he was towards me. Nothing to do with my sister. Nothing to do with nobody else's kids, but the way he tried to handle me almost sent me back to prison. I had to make it very clear to my mama that you know how I feel about preachers, period. You've known this since I was a kid. You know, dude, right here, this preacher, this particular preacher, is one of the main reasons I don't step with nobody church. You know this. Even with me struggling to get back to religion right now, and I'm trying my best, you know, one of the reasons I've been away from it for over 10 years in all capacities is because of this man. She know the reaction I had when I found out that dude was coming to be the pastor at the new church, the one I was a member of, the one I joined, the one that Reverend Stewart opened up. I was there when he cut the ribbon. You know, this man is the reason why, not a reason, the only reason why I refuse to step foot back in the church. And that's just that's a personal choice. Because I told my mom and them at the very beginning when he came to the church, I'm like, and you gonna let it happen. You gonna continue going to the church. You know that man is a devil and you gonna follow his leadership. You know he's a whoop in sheep's clothing. You gonna let him lead the flock. Not only that, but you gonna stay in the flock. And just say, one of my cousins, after my mama said she told my cousin, who is like choir director at this same church, because my family go to this church. My cousin said, well, we gonna keep an eye on him. How that work? How did that turn out? Because for what I'm hearing, the little girl that they got caught with, that he got caught up with, mama go to that church. I've had females that I dealt with that are a member of that church. They told me the day he met them, dude was calling their phone, texting their phone on some you fine type shit. And all they could think of is, how in the hell did this nigga get my number? I told y'all, as soon as my mama and them found out what happened to this dude, their first instinct was to run to his wife. And I'm like, y'all just trying to be nosy. And they were like, nah, we actually like her. And I'm like, ain't that much like in the world. Y'all trying to be nosy. So they come back kind of disappointed that they wasn't getting no information. And I'm like, that's because she was just trying to be nosy. I was getting all the information. Because my ear to the streets. So most of the information they was getting from me. A lot of the information they didn't want to believe. Till the goddamn police reports hit the internet, all over Twitter, all over the news. And they was like, oh, damn, this nigga was telling the truth. Yeah, he was telling the truth. Yeah, that man wife did put him out the house. Yeah, he was around here messing with kids. Only thing my mama and them could say is, and this tripped me out, because I'm like, how y'all put so much past the devil? She was like, what? You were saying that he might be touching on his own daughters? I said, Mama, you told me yourself while you was there at this main house. His youngest daughter come out the back room wearing his shirt and said, ooh, I've been waiting on this shirt for a long time. Don't seem like you too distraught about your daddy blowing his brains out. You happy you got that shirt you been wanting. Wasn't no, ooh, I'm this daddy shirt, I'm keeping daddy shirt. It was, no, I've been wanting this shirt for a long time. Got it. It's a disconnect. But see, it's a disconnect over here too, because my mama is planning on missing work to go to this main funeral. And I'm like, huh? Why? Oh, because I need to be there for his pastor. No, you don't. He got a family. She got a family. They got enough family to be there for them. They don't need you. Well, I'm going to be there for the church. The same church did not even letting this man's funeral be held in that church. And I understand why. I told my mama before that even happened. I said, Mama, I don't think dude's funeral gonna be at Moody Chapel. Why you say that? I said, Mama, because that's hella disrespectful. For this man to be molesting girls in his church and then y'all have his funeral here. I said, I don't even see why any member of the church would even go to the funeral, let alone you. Because if you look at it, this man did your daughter harm and he did your son harm. You got 3 kids. He didn't hit 2 out of 3. Bing, bing. The only reason he didn't get my other sister because she ain't going to nobody's church. If she would have put her face in the preacher, been around dude, he probably would have tried her or my niece. Because this type of dude he was, but my mama don't see that. She's so self-righteous to the point where it's like she don't see nothing wrong with going to this man's funeral. And I'm sitting here like, Mama, your funeral that's like your last party, your send-off. The people who wish you well come and see you off to heaven, which we know he not going. But my thing is, why do you feel you have to be at that party? You have to be at that funeral. Listen to whatever lies the preacher gonna tell about this man. Because you know they're gonna tell the lie. Oh, he was a good husband. No, he wasn't. He was a good father. No, he wasn't. He was a good pastor. My nigga, no, he wasn't. Be for real. So, my mama don't seem to understand when I tell her, I'm like, man, it just take me back to the time when I was a child and I was vulnerable and I was going through it with your husband, or should I say your baby daddy, your boyfriend, whatever he was at the time. It's sad to say that I had to go through the shit with your boyfriend, then I had to go through it with your baby daddy, then I had to go through it with your husband, and it was all the same nigga. He made it through all them stages. You allowed him to go from a boyfriend to a baby daddy to a husband while he was doing what he was doing. The same way you allowed this preacher to go from messing with your daughter or trying to, sending her dick pics when she was 13, 14 years old, to trying to extort your son while he fresh out the hospital. Then you allowed him in the church and didn't raise hell. And now it's little girls running around the city that's been traumatized. They've been touched on, been hunched on. It's a bunch of little girls running around with grown preacher dick pics in their phone. Thing is, your 14-year-old daughter that shit happened to is now somebody's wife. She's somebody's mama. And dude was still doing that shit. I'm not the type of person that can sit back and allow fuck shit to go on. The same way I was saying about dude prison video where I'm like, y'all would sit back and let this shit happen and then be like, oh, well, just because it ain't happened to me, I'm good. I ain't getting dude business. Bruh, this same dude to get out of prison and go do that to your wife, to your kids, to your mama, to your neighbor, your grandma. What you gonna say then? You gonna be like, oh man, I should have stopped dude back when I found out about it. Too late. It's too late. And I don't know, for the life of me, I would never understand why my mama feels like she has to go to this man's funeral. Feel like she had to be the one. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, my mama is a very helpful person. She love to help people. But there's certain people you got to let help themselves. I tell my mama, she telling me a story about how when I was gone, she was at the church trying to carry some food, this way out of town, trying to carry some food that she made for this funeral into the church and then failed. I'm like, Mama, you 70. You've been helping folks all your life. It's time to stop. Let somebody help you. You're 70 years old. You don't have to cook for every funeral. You don't have to go to everybody's house when something happened. Because guess what? I done seen you sick, laying up in the motherfucking bed. Can't get out the motherfucking bed. Guess who was here? Me. I didn't see none of them church folks popping up in this motherfucker. I ain't see none of them outsiders popping up in this motherfucker. None of them strangers popping up in this motherfucker. You need help right now. Who doing it? Me. The church ain't helping you pay no mortgage, no light bill, no water bill, no gas bill, no car note, no car insurance, no cell phone bill, no grocery bill, no none of that. But my feelings don't matter around this motherfucker because when they need something, you so obligated that you're going to do it no matter what I feel, no matter what I say, no matter how it hurt, none of that. I tried to tell her, I'm like, Mama, you got to realize the way I see you going to this man's funeral is you supporting him. Even in death, you still supporting this man. That ain't what I said, Mama, well, you got to realize once you go to that funeral, you can't never ungo to that funeral. 30 years from now, you probably won't even be here, but in my heart, you will still be and went to that funeral. When I'm 70 years old, you will still be and went to that main funeral. And I'll still be asking myself the same questions I asked you right here in the kitchen today. Why? Can you make it make sense? Can you make me understand why you feel the need that you have to do this? Don't tell me it's to help this family. Don't tell me that. Because they got family. I told my mom, you got like 5 people in your family right around here. Help us. Even if it's just me. Even if I know my sister's the type of person that can forgive and forget, I can't. You being my mama for 42 years, you know that about me. You know I hold on to shit. I don't know how to let it go that easy. So in my time of need, could you please be there for me? Could you please not be at this main funeral while I need you? Because I'm going through some shit right now. Fuck the job shit. Fuck the fact that I might not even have a job right now, but I got to use everything in my savings, once again, pay the mortgage on your house. To make sure you got a phone. To make sure you got food in the refrigerator. To make sure you got gas in the car. To make sure you got a car. But don't none of that matter to nobody but me. And I'm not the type of son to say, you know what, I'm through. I'm not going to do it no more. Because if I was going to do that, then I probably would have should have did it a long time ago and went and found me a wife, got me a crib, my own, you know what I'm saying, where I could bring a woman through there when I want to, and maybe I would have been married and had some kids by now. But I make them sacrifices. My sisters and them ran out and did that shit. I be living in a truck to pay these bills, riding all over the country. After the same shit almost killed me, took my life. But I'm doing it again. Why? Because I got to. Or should I say, I feel like I got to. Now, can you break down the obligations that you feel to why you got to go to this funeral the way I just did? Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this for my mama. I'm not doing this for no strangers across town that can have anybody else do it. My sister and them ain't going to pay my mama bills. Even if they was, they not going to come live in this house, and that should drive my mama crazy. It'll drive them crazy. My thing is, I know that I don't have nobody in this world that's going to do that for me. Not my mama, not none one of my sisters. If I get down bad, is they going to make it happen for me. Is they going to fix my life to where I'm living, walking through this motherfucker, and I still got everything I wanted to have. Ain't nobody around here going to buy me no cars. They not going to pay the cell phone bill. They're not going to pay the mortgage. They might give me $20 and hope for me to get the hell on out their face. Like on some real shit. They not going to tell me come live here. Come stay here. I'm going to pay these bills. I know you can't work. I got you. Don't even trip. You still going to have a car to drive. You still going to get gas to put in that motherfucker. And when I give you that gas money, I'm not going to talk no shit to you. I'm not going to make you feel less than when I pay these bills for you or none of that. I know I don't have that. You think this shit don't be on my mind when I look in the mirror and see all this gray hair in my beard and be like, nigga, you ain't got no wife. We ain't even got no kids around this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Once it's over with, it's just over with. When shit start going bad, it just go bad. What I supposed to do? Even when my leg was broke, when I was sitting there making all these videos and goddamn cast and goddamn me having surgery and shit, I was still the nigga paying all the bills around this motherfucker. Some type of way. My sisters and them did not step up. My aunties, my cousins, my uncles, nobody that I got, she got, that we supposed to have stepped up. I got aunties just staying 3-4 story house. I got an auntie just staying a 5-story house by herself. When it first got down to my mama getting ready to lose this house, she needed $1,000 to catch up. I didn't have it. I don't know who it was. She ended up on the phone with my auntie with the 5-story house. We asked for $4,000 to help. She tried to hit me with the Kevin Hart shit. That I can't just go in there and get $1,000 because I want to get $1,000. The fuck you can't. You just don't want to. You feel like, why should I do it when if I don't do it, they gonna find a way to do it without me. That auntie is a preacher, y'all. But I don't care about that. I care about my mama. So at that time, what I did was I went the fuck off. Cussing, screaming, threatening. And the next day, that 1,000 was here. And then I called my auntie and I apologized. But at the time, when I tell you, you got to understand this, I had to do what I had to do to make that money get here. Whatever I had to do, I had to do that to make that money get here. Because I know how hard it was for my mama to even get in a position to buy a house. I remember her going through the phases and trying to get her credit right and all that shit. I can take y'all back to my old house, the house my mama lived in right before she moved into this house, and show you the bullet holes in that motherfucker. Like real shit. I could pull up on that block and point the camera at that house and be like, y'all see them holes right there? They still there. Them is bullet holes. I know where my mama used to live at. So I go hard and I do whatever I have to do to make sure she don't have to live like that no more. And the shit hurt. Then when I asked somebody, it's just like when I was telling my sister, hey, can you just take this nigga off your friend list on Facebook? And she couldn't do it. I'm like, look, when you need help with your bills, can you call him? When you need help paying for your wedding, can you call him? Then why do you feel the need to be friends with him? When the nigga who you do call, not the one you can call, but the one you do call, asks you to, hey, unfriend a nigga that we not cool with. And when I say we because that was my homeboy, not yours. You know what I'm saying? You don't call that nigga for shit. That nigga don't call you for shit. He don't come to family funerals or picnics or Christmas or none of that. Y'all just Facebook friends. Now you can't let that nigga go. For me. When you don't understand that I'm the nigga that will go spend his life in prison to protect you. The rest of my life, I sit in prison and explain it to motherfuckers every day. Man, dude played with my sister. Man, dude tried to touch my sister. Dude tried to do this. He tried. That'll be me. And it should touch you a little bit more because I already know what I'm going to be dealing with while I'm in there. But I do that shit for you. Throw my whole life away. And you won't even throw away a Facebook friend. Same thing with my mom. I'm like, throw my whole life away. Maybe not to prison, but it's a big sacrifice I'm making. Because every day out on this road, it don't matter how handsome I am. I'm not going to find no woman driving this truck down the damn highway, sleeping in the back of a diesel. I don't look my best when I hop out this motherfucker and walk in that truck stop and see all these fat white dudes or these Africans or whatever. I'm not going to see the woman I want to marry when I hop out that motherfucker. Just like people say, when you in Miami, why you ain't just kicking it? Where? At the truck stop? I might see a woman there, but damn. What I supposed to do? Invite her back to the truck? I could. The first thing she gonna think is a nigga trying to buy some ass. It's hard on the yard, man. Ain't none of this shit easy. But I keep trying every day. Every day I get up and I deal with whatever bullshit comes my way. Whether it's working for crooks or just dumb motherfuckers that don't understand how the business work, or watching my boss and them think they slick. You know, sometimes that shit get to me the worst. When I be having a motherfucker figured out and they steady trying to run game. But sometimes you gotta sit in the motherfucker face and let them run their stupid ass game. Like this dude trying to tell me that this truck needs to be worked on. And I'm like, bro, I don't really have to explain to y'all know this shit. Y'all done seen me pull up in Florida and the truck get the fucking up. And by the time you wake up in the morning, I done got a whole new truck delivered. Because we riding Penske rentals, bro. These are rental trucks from Penske. It's Penske in every state in the lower 48. Ain't gonna go nowhere and you ain't gonna be able to get one of them trucks. So what I was saying was, if you already knew there was a recall, Penske policy, they policy would have been to switch you out of truck. Because they on your account. And you paying for the truck regardless. So why is you gonna pay for a truck that's sitting up in the shop not making you no money? You did not buy that truck, bro. You rented it. That's like you going to Enterprise and renting a car. And then you get down the road and the motor in the rental car blow up and they tell you, hey, just sit this one out. We're going to take this rental car to the shop and get the motor rebuilt. And then when we done, we'll give it back to you. Rentals don't work like that, bro. The motor blow up in the rental car, they're going to tell you, we fit to have one of our agents come pick you up and bring you back to the lot and get you another car. Don't worry, it's on us. This man told me it was a recall. You got a recall on a rental car and they don't give you another one? I'm not that damn stupid, bro. I'm not. Then they were trying to get me a rental car so I could put my everything in it, TV, microwave, all this shit, put it in the car. That way, their hands would have been completely washed. Wouldn't been no need to store none of my shit or bring me back or try to contact me and figure out how I'm going to get none of that. And like I say, what was their reason for all that? Well, I found out, like I say, the next morning, that they took $1,150 out of my damn check. That sounds like a damn good reason. Because if they would have took $1,150 out of my check while I was right there in their face, I would have been swinging. I'd have ripped the nigga back pocket off, took their wallet out their back pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to be the type of dude, but I don't play them type of games. I'm not going to play with nobody else about their money. I don't want nobody else playing with me about mine. I just went through all the shit I got to take care of. And the thing is, with the motherfucker fucking me over, stealing my money, whatever they doing, I still got to handle my end of the bargain when I get back to this house. It just hurt that I get back to this house. And I got to feel like the people that I'm doing all this for to take care of is on their side. The side of the people who fucking me over and making my life hard. And there's some shit that I might get over. I don't know. All I know is right now it's affecting me deeply. I need to get it out my chest. I need y'all to pray for me. I need to pray about it myself. That was like, one thing about it is last night I told my mama, because I tried to talk to her about this last night, and I just told mama, you so determined on going to the funeral, you might need to pray about it. It's not like I don't really know how to sugarcoat shit. So there's no point or period in this situation where I made her feel like it was gonna be okay for her to support this family or go to this funeral. Mama, look, let somebody else have this fight. Just quit. Just let somebody else fight this battle. It's not yours. It's not your battle. You got casualties on the other side. Let these people fight their own battle. Bro, I feel you, Dave, but this ain't never. I ain't never turned on this camera or made in one of these videos expecting or looking for somebody to help me. Like I told you, I can't sugarcoat shit. If I needed some help, if I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I've been in a situation where I done asked somebody for a little bit of something, you know what I'm saying, just to eat till I got paid or something, you know what I'm saying? I don't never want to be the type of dude to feel like I'm using nobody. It ain't about that. I told you a lot of the times when I get on here, bro, it's just therapy for me. Somebody I can talk to and get this shit off my chest. Because I know, like, I tried to talk to my mom about this shit this morning. But the truth hurt. She just walked off. Went in her room and started watching an Asian TV show where they actually speak in Asian. Turned this shit up loud. And I know it's because it hurt her for me to tell her that shit. But my thing is, like I told her, I just need to understand why you feel so strongly in your heart that you gotta be the one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you feel like the people you go to church with gonna look at you sideways if you ain't there? Yesterday was Sunday. Then it broke her neck getting down there at church. She do not go to church every Sunday. And I'm not saying that to make her look bad, but I'm just saying, her and my little sister broke their neck trying to get to their church yesterday. And when I asked her why she felt like it was so important, what she told me, because I know all the elders gonna be there and the bishops and they coming from out of town and woo 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 and they gonna be. I'm like, so they don't need you for that. They gonna do it anyway. This is a big church, y'all. When I tell you, her words, not mine. When she got to church, it might have been 10 people there. At the end of church, it might have been 20. And I'm sitting there like, McFly, you don't get it? You might want to take a break for a week or two. Let shit calm down. Let the taste of that mane get out your mouth. Like everybody else seem to understand. Hey, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go to this church. Or I'm going to pray at home. I had to tell my auntie just last night because she got on some criticism type shit. She older than my mom. And I told her, I'm like, look, church ain't the building. Church is the people. She told me, you don't go to, I said, you don't tell me when I go to church or not. Appreciate it. I said, I know I don't go to church like y'all, but I do know that God said, well, two or more is gathered in my name, there I shall also be, meaning that's where the church is. The church ain't never been the building, it's always been the people. And I said, this one thing about it. I ain't nobody preacher, but if you think I'm not reaching more people on YouTube when I'm praying than the 10 people that was in the building, I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to let you have it. So I almost got 10,000 followers. And I don't care why they there. When they come and listen to me, they going to hear some righteous shit. It might have some cuss words in it, but it's still going to be some righteous shit. It's going to be some good shit. I'm not going to send nobody on no crash dummy mission. I'm not going to send nobody to do no bullshit. And sometimes if I sneak a little bit of God word in there, then it's just what it is. They had to hear it. They needed to hear it. They needed to hear it. They wanted to hear it. Something. Either way it go, they heard it. I said, but y'all and y'all false prophets is running way more people away from God than you bringing in. This is the thing about it. Them old ladies and the old men and the people in the choir and the deacons and the bishops, you would think them ain't the people who need God. You would think them the people that already got it. So for them to gather up in one building and huddle up and talk about God and preach about God to each other, what the hell is that doing? Okay, I understand every so often you might invite somebody to church or some child might wake up and be like, you know what? I understand. I get it. I want to be baptized. Short story. When the church first opened, it was a hotel behind it where it was a lot of kitty cat being sold. And we was having to meet. I don't know how I ended up in here to meet with the old women, but I was just in here. I didn't want to be in here. I was in here. And I was like, and I was listening to all the hypocritical shit they were saying. So they were like, I think our first order of business needs to be to go down there and shut that hotel down and run them prostitutes up out of there and woo, woo, woo. That they don't need to be this damn close to our church. This is a house of God. This is a house of the Lord. And they need to get the hell on down the street somewhere. I'm like, wouldn't it make most sense to go down there to them prostitutes and tell them about God instead of trying to get them the hell away from the church? Like, I know y'all older than me, And I know I'm not, holier than thou, and I'm not all deep in the church like y'all is. But just to me, it seemed like it would make more sense to go down there and minister to the women than to go to the police station and try to get them the hell on away from this church. They looked at me like, who asked you? And I was like, this is what I be talking about. Y'all like to look godly and holy and act like you really trying to help people. But really what you're trying to do is make it look good. That's why you don't want prostitutes by the church. Because first thing is, how we going to look? We up here this big old church and we got prostitutes right there. Right, how you going to look sitting up in this church when you got them prostitutes right there? When you need to be right down there with them. Trying to redeem a soul. Trying to turn somebody away from evil and wicked ways. But instead, you rather just get them away from you. Keep the dirt off your white robe. You gotta hurt that shit. Man, I don't feel like I'm a preacher. But I do feel like helping people. I don't want to force nothing on nobody. I don't want to make nothing feel forced on people because I remember one thing. The dude, I told y'all about the Muslim dude. I don't know if I tell you what his name was or even if I remember what his name was, but his name was in prison. This was the dude that used to come staring and hang around my damn cell all creepy and shit. And he was an older blood dude, but he was a Muslim. And one thing he said that just made so much sense to me was, well, he didn't say it, well, it made sense to me. He didn't say it to me. He was saying it to another Muslim that I was cool with. I knew his family and them from the streets. And he was fresh into the Muslim faith and he was, he was feeling it. And dude was trying his best to get me to convert. Man, you need to be a Muslim, brother, and you a black man, brother, and you need to do this, man. I can't stand you niggas to do this shit and woo woo woo. And finally, we had gotten to it. I'm telling dude, man, get away from my cell with this shit, man. I don't want to hear that bullshit, bro. And came over and intervened and got in between. He was like, brother, what you doing? Man, it's my homeboy. Man, I'm trying to tell this nigga you need to woo woo. He said, see, that's the problem, bro. He said, it's not Islam. He said, I understand that you done had enlightenment and you see a different path and you want to save people and you want to bring them down this path of righteousness with you. That's not how you do it. He said, man, you will never find the words to convince somebody who don't want to do it to do it. You convince them with your actions. He said, live your life in a way where this nigga take notice. Make the changes in yourself to where this person got to realize, well, this nigga he ain't the same. This dude can change. He said, when you start doing that, you don't have to go preach to him. He'll come asking you these questions. Man, what did you do? What have you found? How is you changing like this? Then you start telling him. Yeah, but you can't just run up on nobody and force that shit down their throat, bro. They not going to want to hear it. They going to be irritated. They going to fight you the same way dude fighting you, bro. He said, so if you want him to know, then you need to show. You need to go out here and make the changes in your life that you need to make to the point where it's undeniable. And don't just do it for him, do it for you. Because the thing about it is, he might not never be the one to recognize them changes and come to you. But it might be 40, 50, 500 other people that see that shit and change their life because you changed yours. And that's why I try my best to be the example. I try my best to let y'all see the changes I done made and the steps I done took and the distance I done came across. Because I know that I could sit here and tell you all day, man, I'm going to do this and man, I'm going to do that. And if you don't never see it, it ain't going to make you want to follow me. It's going to make you want to quit fucking with me. I can't keep telling people what I'm going to do and I never do it. They not going to take me serious at all. Only thing is, man, my brain and my heart hurting. Because I be trying to explain to my mom, I'm like, man, I don't want to be disrespectful and just tell her, wake the fuck up. Do you not see the shit you doing? Do you not see the pain it's causing? What the fuck make you think that you have to do this shit when I'm telling you flat out? I'm not dropping hints letting you know I might be a little disappointed. I'm telling you, I did everything but threaten you to not proceed with this bullshit you want. And you don't see it as bullshit. So I asked you, like, why? What do you see that I don't see? It's a whole lot of people you could help. It's a whole lot of people you have already helped. And at your age, I just don't feel like God is looking at you like, oh, well, if you don't keep doing this till the day you die, you ain't gonna make it to heaven. Is you fighting demons too? Is you trying to atone for something? Are you trying to make up for something that you did in the past? Because if that's the case, I got the perfect thing you can make up for. And I ain't being funny, but if you don't start making up for that right now, then you're just going to be adding to it. My thing is, I've been forgave her for that. But if y'all remember, I told y'all that I had also forgiven my stepdaddy for the shit he did to me. And then I came home from prison and violated parole as soon as I stepped out that motherfucker because moms and steppop lied to me like they were still together, happily married, and they was living in this house that they had been sending me pictures of, and I'm writing letters over here to this address, and they don't live here no more. I told y'all I was home from prison 14 days. Sure, go ahead. I was home from prison 14 days when my mom and my stepdad got divorced. I came home from prison just knowing they was happily married. This nigga was living with another woman. When he came to my parole hearing, he was living with another woman. And they was faking the funk and making shit look good, making shit sound good. But this man was hurting my mom. And I ain't talking about like physically, but spiritually and mentally. And that hurt me. So once again, I was like, no matter how many chances and opportunities I get this man, every opportunity I give him to make it right is me giving him another opportunity to make it worse. And I found out that that's all he gonna do. And I see that preacher the same way. I'm like, Mama, we found that a long time ago. This man wasn't right. I even heard her tell him, I'm gonna read your question, but I even heard her telling one of my aunties the other day that, or maybe she was telling me this bullshit. He had been praying and trying to fix himself and asking God to forgive him. And I'm like, ain't that what all child molesters and pedophiles say? They've been, especially if they're a preacher. That's what a preacher's supposed to say when he doing wrong. I've been asking God to remove this from my life. Why don't you remove it? What steps have you taken to make sure you stop texting people underage kids? Make sure you stop sexing people underage kids, touching people underage kids, sending them pictures of your private parts. What steps have you taken? Do you think God gonna wake up and cut your phone off or something? Or he gonna wake up and one day you just not gonna be able to talk or something? And that's how I knew I ain't supposed to be talking to kids. Can't talk no more. Nah, bro. It's some shit you got to take care of when you come to the mindset that you wrong. Only you can stop you from doing this wrong shit because, like I told my mama when my cousin said, well, we gonna watch him. What the fuck is that gonna do? You think he been doing this shit out in public in everybody's face where y'all can see it to say, you need to stop that? Or do you think he been slick with it? He been creeping with it? You see what I'm saying? Dude the type of dude that'll go get a burner phone and text these girls his private parts and get that reaction from him. Ooh, that big. Who is this? And then he proceed how he feel he need to proceed until he bait him in. Because, and the reason I feel like that is because my mama said that when my sister seen it, she showed to her and she showed to my mama. And my sister like, I think this is Pastor Mike. And I'm like, how would you not know? Didn't it come from his phone? The man got a wife and daughters. He don't got no son. You think some man that got a hold of Pastor phone and sent you a private part pic? Let me read what this question say. I got fired from my job recently for losing my temper. What's the best way to control your... They pushing you in the moment. Being real. What's up, stranger danger? Being real, bro. Me, the best thing I could tell you right now is remain silent because you know, first of all, you know whatever come out your mouth, it's gonna be your feelings, not your knowledge. You're gonna say how you feel in the heat of the moment. And 9 times out of 10, if a person pissing you off, at that moment, what you feel in that moment ain't what you feel overall. Even, I ain't gonna lie, even sometimes I feel like I shouldn't approach the situation or say nothing. Like, even with my mama, I felt this shit all last night and I felt it all this morning before I even got to bed. And shit just be bothering me. And it got to a point where I feel like I had to say something. I wish I wouldn't have said nothing. Because at the end of the day, now I feel bad about the situation and I feel bad about saying something. Second thing I would say is find your exit point. Find your point where you can remove yourself from the situation. Get some time to think about it. And I know all this shit is easier said than done. Because sometimes when you in that moment, like you said, pushing, sometimes that person pushing you don't give a damn. They gonna keep pushing. I done had situations where I walking off and the motherfucker walking behind me. You know what I'm saying? Where you scream and they scream louder. Or try to anyway. But my conscious advice would be to be quiet, man, and remove yourself from the situation. After you do that, the next best thing to do is to go ahead and start praying. For you and the situation. Because, like I was saying, my mama needs to realize a lot of these fights ain't ours to begin with. It just ain't. We be in situations where if we fight, we not gonna win. That's the way when you find yourself in one of them situations, that ain't even your fight. You can't win because it ain't your fight. God work how he want to work so he can win. You will never know how it's going to happen. You just look around like, damn. But every fight ain't ours, man. I can agree with that. Because I'm going to break down the situation that happened in Chicago again with me coming back home. I felt like something was up as soon as I let dude know where I was. He was like, man, because I was supposed to go to the truck stop, find me something to eat. You know what I'm saying? And dude was like, nah, don't worry about it. Just come to headquarters. I'm like, oh, shit. What the hell they want? Let me come to headquarters. There's some bullshit going on. So when I get there, dude tell me to go park my truck in the other parking lot across the street, which is, I guess, is their parking lot too. So like, yeah, man, park over here in parking space 56. So I go over there, parking 56. I sit there for a second. Then I'm like, fuck it. I pick my nuts up and I walk on back through that parking lot, across the street, through the other parking lot to the building. I'm calling dude like, yeah, I'm on my way over here to you. And I know the office is upstairs, so I'm downstairs. And he's like, man, just chill out downstairs and I come down there and get you. I'm like, all right. I'm sitting there by the steps. Well, first I sat in the building. I'm standing in the building by the steps for like 20 minutes, people walking in and out. Nobody came downstairs. So I called him like, what's up, bro? I'm down here. He like, oh, my bad, Brain. I'm on the phone. I'm going to be down as soon as I get the phone. So I sat in there and I'm like, damn, it's kind of warm in this mother. I stick my head outside. It's a breeze. I see a dude sitting under the little pavilion. So I'm going to walk over there. It's only about 20 feet from the door. So I walk over there and I sit down facing the door. I'm on my phone and shit. About another 20 minutes go by. Finally, I get a phone call from my boss like, bro, where you at? I'm like, I'm downstairs, right outside the door. And he like, oh shit, I'm over here by your truck. How you get there? You ain't came down these doors, like through this, where I'm supposed to be at waiting on you. Yeah, I realize, like, the building, I'm over here on this side of the building, it's a pavilion right here outside the door. You got to come out this door, walk around front of the building, walk all the way across the building, through the parking lot, cross the street to another parking lot. How you way over there? Bro, you was not in this building. That's neither here nor there. So he like, so what you gonna do? You gonna come over here? I'm like, that made me kind of think about it. Who the fuck you talking to, bro? Because you just had me waiting out here down there 45 minutes for you outside this door of this building. And now you talking to me like, so what I'm gonna do? I'm on my way, bro. Here I come. So I get over there. I don't see dude. I see a car parked beside mine. It's a drop top BMW. I'm like, this got to be dude. I know he got the Benz truck. That's what he was in last time. He got the Benz truck. So I'm looking in the car. I don't see nobody. I look up my truck. I don't see nobody. He come from behind my truck. He like, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up? He like, yeah, man. So this is what we gonna do, man. You got to be home Tuesday for your hearing, right? I'm like, yeah. What's up, Nish? So I'm like, yeah. He say, all right, what is what we gonna do? We gonna get you a rental car because we need to put this truck in the shop. And I told y'all all this shit before, but while he's telling me this, I'm sitting there like, huh? In my head, I'm like, bro, you playing with me. My intelligence level is way on up here now, bro. I can see that you playing with me. You making up shit as you go along. And the shit don't make no sense. Because it's a business. You gonna give me a rental car. Then he say, man, we can't put it on the company card, so we're gonna need you to get the rental car. Now you're trying to trick me into paying for my own rental car to go home in. And he was telling me, like, yeah, man, that way you can get all your stuff. You don't have to leave your stuff in the truck because we gonna send it. We don't want, you know what I'm saying, your stuff to be left in the truck while the truck getting worked on. I'm like, all right, that makes sense, but you're lying, bro. You're lying for the simple fact that, hold on, pimp. Come on. I'm like, you lying for the simple fact that I know how shit go. It's a rental. We talked about this already. But I feel like they lying to me. And I wanted to go off right then. But at the end of the day, they got me in the catch-22 where they know that I need a job. I ain't got no other job yet, so I'm stressing about that. I don't want to just fuck up right now. Well, I might be jumping the gun. And I had to humble myself. I had to stay quiet and just, I was telling my mom, I'm like the whole time, he was like, yeah, so we gonna need you. I'm like, okay. And I'm saying okay because I don't want to have too much dialogue with you, bro. Because if we get to having too much conversation about this shit, then I'm gonna start telling you how you got me fucked up. How I'm not no damn dummy. Who you think I am? What you think I can't see through this shit? All this and that. That's why I told y'all. You can go back and see what I told y'all. Man, I know these motherfuckers on some slick shit. So when I woke up this morning, I looked at my chick. It fucked me up. And I ain't gonna say I expected that, but it didn't catch me so far off guard. I'm like, what? They did what? I was like, these motherfuckers. I knew they had some type of, you know what I'm saying? Then it started making sense. These folks did not want me in their truck or having a hold of their property. Some shit they wanted to pay for, a rental car, a rental truck, or whatever. When I got that information about my money. Think about it like this. If they would have had me in the truck, I would have made money for me and them coming home. They bought me a plane ticket, meaning they lost money me coming home. It's just like when you find out like a motherfucker owe you money and they've been lying the whole time, they owe you $20, $30, and you like, you know what? Don't even trip. It cost me $20, $30 to find out that you ain't who you were, and that's good enough for me. I pay that little price to find out you ain't who you say you is. They need to get rid of me. They need to get me away from them. And that little plane ticket is what it cost them. They were like, you know what? We'll spend a little $400-$500 to get this nigga back home. But we need to get this nigga back home now. Anyway, man, I think she need to go outside. And I need to do some praying and some evaluating. So we're going to end this. And I'm going to talk to y'all later on. But don't be afraid to take the long road. Instead of the wrong road. Do things the long way instead of the wrong way. Find somebody to help. Tell somebody you love them. You know I love y'all and I appreciate you. We out.